Deep in a secluded valley, where mountains guard a world untouched by time, lies a small village steeped in simplicity. Among its quiet streets and timeless routines lived a young dreamer named Lila, whose heart yearned for more than the stories of caution and tradition that surrounded her. One fateful day, she discovered a faded blue notebook tucked away in the attic, a treasure that would forever change her life. Filled with tales of courage, lessons of resilience, and whispers of forgotten dreams, this notebook became her guide on a journey to uncover the vast wonders of the world and the depths of her own soul. This is the story of Lessons from the Blue Notebook, a tale of discovery, growth, and the transformative power of stepping beyond the familiar. In a small village nestled deep within a valley, surrounded by mountains standing like protective walls, lived a young girl named Lila. Lila grew up with dreams of escaping the limits of the village, a place where time seemed to stand still. She was always curious about the world beyond, but the stories of dangers and failures from the elders made her hesitant. One day, while cleaning the attic of her old family house, Lila discovered an old notebook with a faded blue cover. On the cover was a simple handwritten phrase, asterisk, "This is a journey of freedom and self-discovery." Asterisk. As she turned the pages, Lila realized that this was no ordinary journal. It was filled with stories, lessons, and inspiring quotes. Each story in the notebook told of someone who had once lived in the village and had decided to leave to pursue their dreams. One story was about a farmer who left his fields to become a renowned poet. Another told of a girl like Lila who left the village to study art and became a painter. But what moved Lila the most was that each story ended openly, never guaranteeing success or failure, but focusing instead on the journey and the lessons learned along the way. The notebook ended with a sentence, asterisk, "If you want to understand what you read, step outside and experience it yourself." The words in the notebook stirred something in Lila. She decided that she could no longer let fear control her. One morning, Lila packed her belongings, taking the blue notebook as her companion. Before leaving the village, she left a letter for her parents, promising to return with new stories and lessons. On her journey, Lila met many people, each bringing a unique lesson. The craftsman an old man skilled in pottery. He told her, "Life is like clay. Only when you dare to touch it and shape it can you create something meaningful." Lila watched as he shaped each piece of clay with meticulous care. Every pottery piece carried its own story, and he told her how these pieces had once brought joy to those who used them. He shared that each pot he made symbolized a phase in his life, from joy and sorrow to the profound lessons learned. Encouraged by his words, Lila attempted to craft her own pot. The process was messy and frustrating at first, but by the end, she created something unique, a small pot with uneven edges but filled with character. The craftsman smiled and told her, "Imperfection is the mark of authenticity." Lila spent several weeks assisting him, learning the art of patience and precision. Each day, she documented her progress in the blue notebook, reflecting on the parallels between shaping clay and shaping one's life. Before she left, the craftsman gifted her a small, intricately carved clay medallion. He said, "Carry this with you as a reminder that your journey, like clay, can take any shape you choose." The blind woman a woman who had lost her sight but had an extraordinary ability to perceive life. She taught Lila, "Sometimes, you have to close your eyes to truly see." They sat together under a large tree, and the woman guided Lila to close her eyes and feel the world through sound, smell, and touch. With her eyes shut, Lila could hear the rustling of leaves in the wind, Feel the rough texture of the tree bark under her fingers. And smell the sweet scent of wildflowers nearby. Losing my sight made me realize that the world is far larger than I had ever seen, the woman said. The woman also shared stories of her childhood before she lost her sight, teaching Lila to appreciate every moment, even the small ones that often go unnoticed. Inspired by her perspective, Lila began to practice mindfulness daily, documenting the details she often overlooked before. She wrote extensively about the blind woman's life, turning her story into a parable about resilience and adaptability. The wandering musicians *, they taught her that music is not just sound but the heartbeat of humanity. A way to connect beyond barriers. They played music around a campfire, with each melody telling the story of someone in the group. Lila learned that music was a universal language that transcended boundaries. She joined them, playing a simple flute they had given her. Though she had never played music before, she found that when she let her heart sink with the melody, it came naturally. One musician, a young man with a violin, shared how he had once been ridiculed for pursuing music. "But music saved me," he said. "It gave me a way to speak when words failed." Inspired, Lila wrote a song in her notebook, a melody she hoped to one day share with others. She stayed with the musicians for several weeks, traveling with them to small villages and seeing how their music uplifted entire communities. She noticed how music brought people together, strangers sang in harmony, children danced, and elders smiled as they listened. Lila's heart swelled with the understanding that art, in its many forms, had the power to heal. One day, Lila lost her way and wandered into a mysterious forest. There, she met an old hermit, a philosopher who had left everything behind to live with nature. He told her, "The stillness of the soul doesn't come from what we possess but from how we understand ourselves." Lila stayed for several days, learning to slow down, listen to every sound, and notice every ray of light filtering through the canopy. The old man taught her how to hear her inner voice and recognize the true value of existence. She began recording everything she learned, from small lessons to simple observations. Each page of the blue notebook now contained not only advice but also her personal reflections. "The smallest things often hold the greatest meaning," the old man once said. A lesson Lila never forgot. He also showed her how to perceive the passage of time by observing the sun's shadows shifting on the ground and how it affected human emotions. One evening, as they sat by the fire, the hermit shared his own story, how he once chased material success but found it unfulfilling. "True wealth lies in the connections we make and the peace we find within ourselves," he told her. On her next leg of the journey, Lila stumbled upon an ancient city hidden deep in the valley. The stone walls of the city stood resilient against time, but there was no sign of its inhabitants. She found a massive library filled with ancient books. The books told stories of creativity, failures, and how people overcame challenges. In the library, Lila discovered a book documenting herbal remedies once used by the city's people. She learned how to heal with nature, which made her feel more connected to the world around her. In the quiet evenings, with the dim glow of an oil lamp, she read page after page, savoring the precious moments of peace. Knowledge isn't just found in books but in how we apply it to life, she reflected. She also found an old diary of a former resident. The entries detailed how they built their lives from nothing, faced natural disasters, and found joy in small, simple things. Lila spent weeks exploring the city, piecing together its history and imagining the lives of its former inhabitants. She felt a profound connection to these unknown people, as if their struggles and triumphs mirrored her own. She even began restoring parts of the city, using her newfound skills to preserve its legacy. One day, she discovered a hidden chamber beneath the library, filled with artifacts and murals depicting the city's golden age. These visuals painted a story of innovation, resilience, and community. Lila wrote extensively about this discovery, envisioning how these lessons could be shared with others. Lila's journey wasn't always smooth. One day, she had to make a difficult decision: help a group of stranded travelers or continue pursuing her dreams. Lila chose to stop and help them with everything she had learned. But this decision caused her to miss an important opportunity to meet mentors she had hoped to learn from. Feeling disappointed and doubting herself, she opened the blue notebook and read a line: "Your journey isn't about achieving everything but about understanding what you are willing to give." This helped her realize that every choice held its own value. She began journaling her emotions, expressing her fears and regrets. These entries became reminders that failure wasn't the end but a part of the journey. The travelers, grateful for her help, shared their own stories of resilience and gratitude, leaving Lila with a renewed sense of purpose. She stayed with them long enough to learn their skills, from map-making to storytelling, further enriching her own journey. After many years of traveling, Lila returned to her village. But this time, she didn't come back as the hesitant girl who had left. She brought with her stories, lessons, skills, and a determination to transform the lives of those in her community. She taught children how to draw, compose music, and share their dreams. She ignited a creative spark in everyone and helped the small village become a hub of innovation. She also organized storytelling sessions where villagers could share their experiences and inspire one another. Lila created a place where everyone could find their voice and embrace their potential. Lila's impact didn't stop there. Her stories and lessons spread beyond the village, reaching neighboring communities. Travelers who passed through the village carried tales of the blue notebook and the girl who had turned her life into a masterpiece. Lila began mentoring others, guiding them on their own journeys of self-discovery. Her blue notebook became a living document, continually filled with new stories and lessons from those she helped. The blue notebook became a symbol of freedom, courage, and the pursuit of self-discovery. Lila knew her journey wasn't over, but she felt fulfilled knowing she had left an indelible mark on the lives of others and was writing new chapters of her life. On the notebook's cover, she added a new line: "Let each day be a new page, and each page an opportunity to change the world."